I prefer to date black men. This is not a secret. I talk a lot about on this account of interracial dating, but in the spirit of fairness, I have been asked what are some things that black men can do that can turn me off, because obviously I don't want to date them all.
I have noticed that a lot of black men that specifically date white women like to treat black women horribly.
All right, this is a topic I have stayed away from, but I think it's time. And I'm not going to get deep into it, but I do want to say this. Black men in particular who say that they prefer white women, they prefer to date white women, it's not because they think we are more attractive, because let's be honest.
Men that I've dated, a lot of them, unfortunately, they'll have a very negative view on black women.
Okay.
And I have witnessed it. I have called it out every time. I broke up with one of my exes because he had been racist towards a black woman.
So I know a lot of these passport bros, and especially black men, are in my comments asking me why I'm talking about this. It's not my fight. And before anything, I'm a woman, so I'm always going to stand up for women regardless of race.
Okay, so as a white woman who dates pretty much anybody and everybody, like I truly do not have a type, I will not date a black man who only dates white women. No, and I won't be explaining further. I feel like those who know.
So now this is a red flag. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. This is Bernadette as usual. You're most welcome to today's video. So today we are having this very interesting episode where white women are saying that they won't date black men who trash black women. So we are going to watch some clips of this, and without wasting much time, let's get into this. Remember to hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll catch up with you after the clips are played.
All right, this is a topic I have stayed away from, but I think it's time. And I'm not going to get deep into it, but I do want to say this. Black men in particular who say that they prefer white women, they prefer to date white women, it's not because they think we are more attractive, because let's be honest, we already know. We're not. Like toe-to-toe, if you line up 10 white women and 10 black women, objectively speaking, you're going to find more genuine beauty, organic beauty in black women. It's not that these men think we are more attractive. It's that they know that we are not going to hold them accountable in the same way. When a black man starts listing off why he doesn't date black women, why he doesn't partner with a black woman, almost all of the time, it's the traits that have to do with them being firm and knowing who they are, knowing what they deserve, and holding these men accountable and holding them to task. A lot of times men decide that they want to venture away from dating black women because they do not want to be accountable. It's not because they find us more attractive. They want the easy way out.
I prefer to date black men. This is not a secret. I talk a lot about on this account of interracial dating, but in the spirit of fairness, I have been asked what are some things that black men can do that can turn me off, because obviously I don't want to date them all. Your girl's actually really picky. So let's start off with the first ick. And that is talking poorly about black women. It's okay to have a preference. It's okay to have a relationship that didn't work out, or maybe it was toxic and there's trauma there, and she happens to be a black woman. But when you use your desire to date white girls or to date me as a way to fire back at black women, that makes me feel extremely uncomfortable. Uncomfortable in a way I will never talk to you again. I do think it's okay to share, like, these are things that I enjoy in white girls. Just like I share, these are things I enjoy with black men. Does every black man have this? No. Does every white girl have that? No. But in my experience, there's certain things that I find more common in black men. There obviously are some differences, but then it stops feeling like a preference and starts feeling like an attack and using me as the weapon. And I don't like that.
I have noticed that a lot of black men that specifically date white women like to treat black women horribly, and I will never understand this shit.
They hate their mamas. They're talking about a very specific group of black women who are single parents, black women who are struggling, black women who committed themselves to a relationship with a man who left them with a bunch of children. These black women, these black mothers end up sometimes having to have multiple jobs just to make ends meet, and end up finding themselves having to do some things that they would not normally do had they a good man and a good father to stand beside them, to help them raise their children. Oftentimes, these women face depression. Some of them become resentful, and many of them lose their sense of self. Often, those same black women do everything in their power to make sure their daughters don't go through what they go through. So you have a lot of black women and a lot of black girls who, because of the conditions that they are likely to experience if they stay on the same track that many black women and girls stay on, they are taught to protect themselves. They are taught not to settle. So a lot of black boys end up resenting their mothers. And when they see girls and women that remind them of their mothers, it triggers that resentment. And the truth is, these white women that they will commit themselves to don't have to meet 1/100th of the expectations that they hold black women to. And the solution for many of them is to see all black women the way they see their mother. And as such, they decide as an option to only date white women or to never date black women. They will give a racist white woman a chance before they give a black woman who they perceive as mean or quote unquote masculine. And that's pretty unmasculine. So remember, if you're a white woman and you commit yourself to a relationship with a black man who hates and resents black women, you might have a black daughter one day.
So I know a lot of these passport bros, and especially black men, are in my comments asking me why I'm talking about this. It's not my fight. And before anything, I'm a woman, so I'm always going to stand up for women regardless of race. And one thing that really bothers me about this is these same passport bros are the men who probably tried to hit on me in the US before they realized that we don't like them either. I'm from a town that really doesn't have that many Asian women, especially Asian women who look like me. Like I said, you guys, I'm adopted. I grew up in a white family in the Midwest, so I have no beauty standards from South Korea. I'm a thick woman. I weigh about 165 pounds. I'm 5'5", so honestly, the brothers like to holler, and they still do. Regardless of what some men in the comments were trying to say, that black men aren't checking for Asian women. Yeah, right. Check my DMs. But anyway, pretty much every time I met a black man, he thought it would be a flex to say something like, yeah, I like my women foreign. I like my women exotic. And I don't know why they decided to say that to me, if they thought it would make me feel good or something, but for me, it's always a red flag. And so I would dig in a little bit further and say, well, what do you mean by that? Like, because I'm a white girl on the inside. My family is white. I grew up in a white community in a small town in the Midwest, so I might look exotic, but I'm Wonder Bread white on the inside. So anyway, whenever these guys would say this, I'd be like, well, you're about to be in for a big disappointment if you're expecting a submissive, docile Asian to take care of you. But it really bothered me when these guys would say, yeah, I don't like black women, because that's what it always came down to, that they didn't date black women regardless if they were black or not. And their moms are black, their sisters are black, their cousins are black. I'm like, would you say this to their face? That's weird. So I kind of pick and prod after I already decided, yeah, I'm done with this, I'm out, because anybody who says something like that just is an immediate red flag. But it always came down to the same stupid stereotypes that black men always have to say about women. They're loud, they're masculine, they don't know how to treat a man, they wear fake hair. So what? So what? You don't have to put down an entire race of women because you have a preference. And honestly, like, I've dated pretty much every race, every ethnicity. I'm Ms. Worldwide when it comes to dating. Only common denominator is black hair and dark eyes usually. But I've never heard any group of people, group of men, put down their own women more than I've heard black men do it in pursuit of other women. And I just find it really disheartening. And I understand why this divide is getting bigger, but I don't want to be a part of it. So I hate it, and I had to speak on it.
I have a question for some black men, because I know it's not all, so don't come for me saying she said all. I never said that, but I do have a question for some, specifically the black men who choose to date white women, because that is where I have seen it the most. But I was about to go into the store, right? There was a black man there. He was with a white woman. You could tell they were together. Okay. As I'm getting ready to come into the establishment, I'm right behind them. He holds the door for me. I said, thank you. He said, oh, you're very welcome. Okay. There was a black lady right behind me. He let that door go and slam in her face. And I looked, and I even said to him, I said, oh, that was very rude. And he said, what happened? I held the door for you. I said, yes, you did. I said, but why did you let it slam in her face? And he just kind of smirked and walked off. I have noticed that a lot of black men that specifically date white women like to treat black women horribly. And I will never understand that shit. I do not give a damn who you choose to date. You can date whatever fucking race of people you want to date. I don't give a damn. But why must you treat black women so horribly when you choose to date outside of your race? And I have seen this more than once, so don't tell me that was just him, because it's not. I have witnessed it, that when a black man chooses to date another race, he chooses to treat black women like trash. And that's the most ignorant shit I have ever seen in my life. I will never understand that. You have a right. You can have your preference. You can date whoever the fuck you want to date. This is a free country. Nobody said that. You can love whoever you want to love, but why must you just treat black women horribly when you choose to do that? That is the most insane thought process I have ever heard of. And I'm going to tell you right now, if I was dating a black man that specifically treated black women horribly, that specifically just degraded black women, talked down on them, that would be an automatic deal breaker for me. Because why? Your mother is black. Your sisters, if you have them, are black. Your grandmother is black. Why would you do that? Just because you choose to date outside of your race never, ever, ever gives you the right to degrade black women. It's the most disgusting behavior I have ever seen, and I have seen it so many times, and I would love for someone to tell me why. Why do you do that? It's just sickening. Like, I just can't. I would say good day, but that just pissed me off, so whatever.
Second time in 3 weeks, a black man who I am a colleague to has sent me a joke about...
After 2 missed calls, white women, hey babe, please call back when you get this, love you. Black women, I hope you in that B, you will have a nice life. Pause to read. She did check him. And then in the next one, he's basically like comparing black women.
How soft and nurturing and coddling white women are, and how mean and harsh black women are in relationships. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you're a white woman, don't participate in that.
Period.
It's not funny
at all.
They're testing to see what you're going to do, what you're going to say.
Yep.
It is absolutely disgusting that they even think that it's okay to send me that, and it's offensive to me that they believe I'm going to laugh at the expense of black women. There's nothing funny about it. There are plenty of things that we can joke about, plenty of people that we can poke fun of. The last people who need to be the center of a joke are black women.
First of all, shouts out to Jennifer Sunshine 22. That's her username, okay? Because at the end of the day, that is a dog whistle. And she went on to say that those two black men, one of them first of all sent her a message at 12:30, and the other one sent her a message at 4:30 a.m. Both of these is a.m. And they're both married. And she said a lot of the times this has happened to her with black men that were married to black women. And I think that is so weak. To talk down on black women, to try to triangulate black women with the white tea women is so pathetic. I feel like men like this are literally treasonous. They are traitors to the race. I don't care. You can date who you want. You can like who you want, but you don't have to do that at the expense of talking down on your own race of women. Okay? It's so played out and corny. And then I know there's men that's probably going to get up in my comment section and see, oh, you see how you acting, you see your attitude, that's why we don't like black women, that's why we're whoop. But then they will cuss me out and call me all types of bed witches because I dated out a time or two, like literally 10 years ago. I can't even remember the last time I seen a pink, okay? But that's my prerogative, and I was well within my rights to do so because of the experiences that I had. But do that make me get up here and say all black men are just terrible? No. I will get up here and talk about specific types. I literally had to make a card that said not all for all of the ones that was crying all over my goddamn comment sections. On YouTube. It's the Love Joe Show. Check me out over there. But that still didn't put me off from black men completely. I love black men. People be, oh, you hate men? No, I don't. I absolutely love men. It's certain types that I do not like. I love men, okay? am I hetero? I don't know. I mean, sometimes on a drunk night, But for the most part, I like to be dicked out, okay? Men are very helpful to me. I will never say, oh, I don't need a man. That is not my ministry, all right? But all in all, like, I just feel like it's very weak. Like, and it's very corny for you to need to, like, denigrate a whole race of women in this comparison game. And we got up here and compare black men to the whitey man. They wouldn't like it because they will fall short in a lot of categories. Not all, but enough. As a collective, they would not like it. If we went around comparing, it just wouldn't be a good look. It really wouldn't. They would not like it. And every black woman is not the same. We are not a monolith. The way y'all see me cutting up on here when I'm with a man, I don't act like this unless he like really trigger me and take it far, because I'm non-confrontational when it comes to men. I've been told that I was heartless and cold and why you act like that, blah, 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 because I would just like literally look at you and just won't even respond. I shut down. I got a lot going on, but I don't be up here arguing about, like it takes a lot for me to get there. I'm very soft. I will massage your feet if you're taking care of me and give me what I need, okay? Anyways, that's another story for another day, but what do y'all think about this? Like, literally trying to pit us against the white tee, putting us down to try to uplift. And the white tee women that go for this are also weak ass bitches. Like, you're mad weak. If you need to, like, if that's an ego boost, it's so corny. Once again, shouts out to Jennifer. Spread love and support Dwayne.
Men that I've dated, a lot of them, unfortunately, they'll have a very negative view on black women.
Okay.
And I have witnessed it. I have called it out every time. I broke up with one of my exes because he had been racist towards a black woman, even though he's black. Where do you think that comes from with black men hating black women?
There's many factors to it. I'm not no expert on this. I'm just going to give what I think I know.
That's Ginger J. Ginger J should answer that.
No.
He has kind of been explained.
No, but he did what I did last week. He didn't answer it intelligently. He answered it emotionally.
Okay. Oh, whoa! Yeah. You got a new person altogether.
No, but I'm saying, you get me. Obviously, where I think that comes from is just like how black women are viewed, portrayed in society.
Yeah, I've asked them personally, and they said black women have a lot of attitude. They know how to stick up for themselves, whereas white women are more submissive and all of this shit. Bullshit. I think that's bullshit. I think it depends on the person. You know, you can go with a white girl and she'd be really submissive. You can go with a black girl, she'd be really submissive. It's not based on a race. But a lot of black women, from my experience, they base it on black women know how to stand up for themselves. I don't want to deal with that.
I don't think it's like black women standing up for themselves. I think it's more deeper than that. I feel like a lot of black men have this perception that black women are arrogant and they don't like to listen.
If you're able to watch all those clips, thank you so much. I hope we got something from there, and I hope we can understand why these women are talking like that or saying like that. If you've been on social media, you must have been seeing things or instances where some black men really trash or try to put down black women. Sometimes they talk so bad about black women, maybe thinking that when they do that, non-black women will be amazed and they will be taken up. And maybe it worked for some time, maybe with those who were naive. But these women are now realizing that, no, this should not be the way, because if you are a black man, that means your mother is also black or was black. Maybe you have sisters who are also black. Maybe you have grandparents who are black. You have aunties who are black. But you talk so bad about black women, meaning that you are generalizing everyone, including your own mother, your own sisters, your own grandmothers or your aunties, your nieces, which is not a good impression. So for the white women who are waking up, they have realized that this is not the way to go. Of course, it's okay to have a preference, but when you go out of a preference and you begin talking so bad, disrespecting and trashing other women, that is a very big red flag. So some of these white women are not putting up with that, because we have always said, look at the way he talks about other women or women in his life, like his mother, his sisters, his relatives, even just women within his own community? How does he talk about them? How does he treat them? Which means the reality is showing up, because for a long time, some black men and even black women have been trying to talk about the behavior of some black men, both on social media and in real life. There is one who said if she comes across a black man who has only dated white women, that is a red flag. In her captions, she was saying that most of them who date only white women, they are always trashing black women. So it's a red flag for her. Maybe it is time for some of these black men to check themselves. Because for a long time, some men thought that saying stuff like that would make them more desirable. But they have been busted, because the reaction is completely different now. Instead of these non-black women being impressed, a lot of them are instantly being turned off, because these women are realizing that if you can talk so bad about a woman from your own race, what would stop you from doing the same to them in the long run? So they are saying that them being your preference is not the problem. The problem is the disrespect that comes with it. Because let's be real, calling women loud, undesirable, or tearing them down publicly does not make a man selective. Instead, it makes him to look a bitter man. So some of them are realizing that they are not more attractive or more beautiful than the black women, but they are just using them. Like we have heard those stories, because they are always saying white women are submissive, they don't ask questions, they are so supportive of anything and everything, they are down to earth and they are natural. So they are also getting tired and they have realized it that no. So it looks like the dating conversation is shifting. It's not just about who you choose anymore. It's about how you move and how you speak on others. So what do you think about this? Is this fair? Drop your take below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and let's catch up in the next one.